Hi there. In this video, we're going to talk a little bit about being a CEAS student. Some of you might already be CEAS students. Some of you might know exactly why you are here. Some of you, though, might still be trying to figure out if this is a good fit or wondering really what to expect once you get here. So let's talk it through. So what do engineers do? They use math, science, and technology to solve problems, something you all are very, very good at, and improve the world. And I want to take a step back and really acknowledge the opportunity there is in this discipline for you to impact the world on a really macro level, on a really large scale, to improve a lot of people's lives by changing products, processes, ideas, technology, innovations. It is really, really cool. You'll get to use creativity to find solutions to complex problems and then turn those ideas into reality. So this isn't just math and science. It is using math and science to come up with ideas, with solutions that nobody else has thought of before. Another big piece of this, not just coming up with ideas from scratch, but is improving existing ideas, products, and processes to make our lives better. So if you are someone who moves through the world and thinks that could be done better, more efficiently, with fewer resources, at a lower cost, without as much labor, maybe not into that much depth, but if you are someone who looks around and thinks, I think that could be done better, and I'm curious and I kind of want to figure out how, this could be a really, really good fit for you. Something else I want to make sure you take away from this video is that you are absolutely going to be collaborating on multidisciplinary teams. So teams of business leaders, maybe designers, artists. You might find yourself working with other engineers. So a big part of your curriculum, the skill set you're going to develop with us and out on co-op, is how to be a good leader and a good member of those teams to produce good outcomes. So you might be surprised to know that to be successful here, you do not need to love math. Now, I need you to be successful at math. You're going to have to get through the classes. Odds are you're going to have to apply them throughout the curriculum and reference them on your job, but you don't need to be head over heels in love with math to really be successful and effective here. If you're worried about sitting at a computer all day, trust me when I say that we have a ton of career opportunities where that isn't your outlook. Some majors more than others, of course, but if you really want the opportunity to be out on a machine floor, if you want to be out on a job site, if you want to be measuring the canopy of trees as an environmental engineer, there are all kinds of jobs that incorporate this kind of hands-on active work into your day-to-day experience. I just want to keep emphasizing engineers are creative. You all aren't just math and science people. If you were, you might be a physics major. But you are really looking at ways to take these things that you love and implement them in new and exciting ways. So creativity is a big part of who we are, and I want to make sure that if you see yourself as a creative person, you know that you belong here. One other thing, something I have to clear up, is that engineers can absolutely be social, outgoing, and people. In fact, we need those people in our college and in our industry. And the reason why, I said it before, you're going to work on a lot of teams. Some of you are going to go on and be leaders, supervising other engineers, overseeing other big processes and teams. You might go into technical sales where you are meeting with companies and representatives about technology that is available to them. You could be consulting with multiple companies and representing your own company or your own business's brand. So being able to connect with people is an important skill here, and it will serve you well long term if you fall into that bucket. So what qualities make for a good engineering student? We've talked about innovation. I know this term can be kind of ambiguous, but again, I want to go back to walking through the world and thinking, could that be done better? And feeling a little bit motivated to figure out how. Being willing to come up with ideas and not being afraid to fail as you try them out, because ultimately that is the recipe for success. You need to be a little bit scrappy. Here's what I mean by this. You're going to be taking tough classes. You're going to be working in professional environments starting your second year in our curriculum. You need to be resourceful. You need to be able to find answers, get things done. You need to be able to ask for help and really find whatever means you need to get to an end, whether that is a good grade, completing a project, and the sooner that you are kind of in that mindset and willing to seek out more than what has been given to you, I think that will really be important for you long term in our college. Bounces back quickly, you're going to fail. I said it earlier. The only way to innovate is to try new things and be very, very open to those things not working. A lot of you, honestly, were really high performers in high school, and maybe failure's new to you. Not getting a good grade on a test, not doing well in a group project, struggling to get a code or a robot working the way that it's supposed to. And what you really need to do is come out of those moments where things don't work well and use your resources, figure out what went wrong, change your process, and do better the next time, and be really excited about that continuous process of bouncing back. Kind of going along with all this, you got to be humble. You can't be afraid to ask questions. Certainly, if you put your mind to it, I'm willing to bet that with enough energy, you could figure out just about any problem we put in front of you. But what I want you to realize is that's not always the most effective use of your time. Sometimes it is more effective to seek help from your peers, from your professors, from other resources that are available to you so that you can learn the content and do what needs to be done to be successful here. Okay, so a little bit about our students. I want to be honest, our students do work really hard. Our curriculum typically includes 16 to 18 credit hours a semester, so while some majors you could maybe get away with 12 to 15, we are pretty intensive here, and you're going to need to be able to juggle a lot of classes at a time. The coursework generally focuses on some high-level applied math, chemistry, and physics, so it's not going to be a cakewalk, but if you are one of our students, you're excited about the challenge. Nationally, on average, engineering students spend about 19 hours per week studying outside of class. And I want to be honest, this is a lot. This is 5 hours more on average than your counterparts who are going to be in social science or business majors. So understanding that our coursework, our co-op program, our careers really require this high level of time management, prioritizing your responsibilities, and coordinating a lot of tasks, a lot of jobs, a lot of ideas, a lot of people at once. And what we're going to ask from you in terms of your number of credit hours and the hours you spend working outside of the classroom is going to be reflective of that. Okay, something else I want you to know about our students is that they develop diverse skills. They have to. You need a broad range of technical and leadership skills to be successful in the classroom and in industry. And we have a lot of courses like our first year engineering design thinking course that are set up to prepare you for that reality. So really quickly, we're going to take a moment and learn a little bit more about that course.